Okay, so now we took again the same, we are taking again the same example. On the screen, you can see red sentence and green sentence. Now in hashing, as I said, we decide previously what will be our bucket size. Okay, so here we took a huge bucket, like a 2 into 2 to the power 20, something like that. We took a huge bucket size. Okay, this is to address the concern like, okay, tomorrow if any new mail will come, then again I don't want to rebuild my whole model again. So with our what you say assumption, we can take our own bucket size. You can take your bucket size 10 only as well, so it totally depends on you. Okay, so here we took a huge number. Okay, now what will happen when you go for this yeah, first sentence. Okay, now it will calculate first. Again it will break into, you can say, token, and then for I it will calculate what will be the hashing number for this I. Okay, what will be the hashing number for earn. So likewise it will calculate the hashing number of each word, and then it will create a vector. So the vector length will be your this one only, which you already decided. This is number of buckets. In terms of hashing, we says bucket, because I think in programming language we use the word bucket, so it will be easy for you to understand. So how many number of buckets we are having? 2 into 2 to the power 20. Okay, we are having such a huge bucket. Now how many words we are having? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this mail is having only 12 words. Okay, and I think all are unique. There's no repeating. So it means 12 unique words are having. So what hashing function will do, for each of these 12 words, it will calculate a hashing number using hashing function. And in the bucket, from 1 till whatever number is there, whatever, I mean, number of whatever comes, it will mark it as 1 wherever it find. Just a minute, can someone share the password 1234 on this? Just a minute. Okay, so here what happened? Yeah, so we marked, suppose this as fourth. I mean, the place is 4, so consider that sum of the number hashing function came 4, so it marked it as 1. Okay, so I mean, true vector you cannot see, it's very big, so it just created a hashing number and created a vector. Same way for second message also, it created a vector here. Okay, till this point, is it clear to everyone?
So Rishiji, here vocabulary is not being generated, right?
No, no,
So it's
no.
so it's a just kind of dynamic mechanism
Yes, you
on the
can
fly.
on the fly, or hashing function calculates hashing number for each word. It works a bit differently. It don't create the vocabulary. You can say it creates a hashing number for each word.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got a new message here. Okay. Since our hashing don't create vocabulary, so even if we are having new number here, it will not have any that kind of impact. Like, it will treat all these number as a usual one. It will create a hashing function and create a vector. So now this time because you got many new number, so your vector will be definitely different from your previous two vector. Okay, so the advantage here is that once you fix your vector length, your ML algorithm is designed to take this many vector, this much long vector. So whenever any new thing will come, it don't need to learn again from the scratch. Okay, it will just keep on what you say. It will just add to the existing model. So this is the difference between if you go with the count vectorizer or if you go with the hashing vectorizer, hashing function. So if this is clear, I have not categorized the third message as a spam or not spam because your vector is different and you learn this is different from previous two. So you cannot categorize this as a spam or not a spam. Okay, that's why I have not highlighted this into red or green. It is just a simple black. This is not categorized yet. Is this is clear?
So Rishi, in this technique, we can ensure that the order of word is maintained.
No, no. Even in hashing vector, you are just in the vector. If you see 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, there's no order in that. You just created a hashing number and then just created. Here also order is not cannot be preserved.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Now, so this is just that when you use hash vectorizer. So if your data set is large and there is no use for the resulting dictionary of tokens, okay, or you have maxed out your computing resource and it's time to optimize. So what it means that hashing vector, these are two different conditions are there. One you already saw. Okay, so what are those conditions like count vector if need is to access the actual token? Suppose some use cases is there and you just want actual token. Whatever coming after that, you are not worried about it at all. There may be some use cases. So in that condition, you use count vectorizer. Or if you are worried about hash collisions, yes, one thing in hashing, hash collision. So what happened, there may be a chance, as I explained earlier also, that suppose hash number for rupees comes out to be 20. Okay, there may be a chance that just may come also 20 in hashing. Even if you take so much big, there is chance. The probability will be very less. That's the only difference is there. Okay, but still there will be chance. So what will happen if you are taking your hashing bucket size or you are having millions of word, and if you keep on growing this vector, that won't be good as well because that much space it will take every time in your RAM. So you need to balance it out. And if you worried that okay, with my the size which I'm taking there are chances of collisions are there, then you can avoid hashing function. So those are some of the condition where actually differs, but generally we are not having that much space issue or resources that we go for count vectorizer. Okay, so that is the difference. Now we are having enough resources. So that is the difference between these two. Any question on this before we move to the coding, actual coding? Any question on this? Haji, is this is clear to everyone?
Yes, Rishi.
Okay. So now we'll see through coding how to implement this tokenization. Okay, now in case of when we applied this count vectorizer, it already do inside tokenization and other thing. This is just to see practically how it works actually. Okay, I will just take 2-minute pause. If anyone have any question, please let me know. Python coding of tokenization first. Okay, so here let me just remove my graphics code. Okay, so here I have already imported the library, which is nltk.tokenize. And what I'm importing from that library, this method, send tokenize and word tokenize. Okay, and there's one text is given. Now what I will do, I will say send equal to, I will assign define a variable called send, and this word text. Okay, I will apply sentence word tokenization on this text. Okay, so how to do that? Word tokenize text. That's it. So this text is having, this is a variable, and you have assigned a sentence to this variable. On this variable, you have applied the word tokenization like this. Now you simply print it. Since this is Python 3, so you need to print it like this.